welcome to No Story Stagnates with me, Ernie Boxall, and Vivek. Would you like to introduce yourself, tell us who you are, where you are, and what you're doing at the moment?
Excellent. Thanks a lot, Ernie, for this opportunity. I'm Vivek Gangadhar. I also call myself as VivG is Finance. I'm based out of Bangalore, India, and things have been going good so far.
Yeah,
So great to connect with you, Ernie.
good. That's brilliant, Vivek. We have spoken a couple of times. And so we'll start, Vivek. I'll ask you the question I ask all my guests. Do you know how your mother and father met for the first time?
A good question. From what I remember, what my parents and what my grandparents mentioned, it's a story that is there in my head.
Yeah.
Okay, that they met at a place where it was an arranged type of
Yes.
setup, right? And they met at where my mom came from. It's a nearby town, and I think that's where they met for the first time.
Great. Now, I did interview a lady from Hyderabad, Vimala, and she told me that when her parents' marriage was arranged, it was done by her grandmother. Is that the same in your family?
Yes, it is pretty much similar. It was actually the elders, my mom's parents and my dad's parents, right? My maternal and paternal grandparents. I think they
Yes.
are the ones who took the decision
Uh-huh.
and to meet up, and then of course the meeting of minds happened, and then I think
Yes.
that's how it happened. But yeah, predominantly it was the grandparents who were the driving force behind this relationship, and thanks to them I'm existing today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
so, Vivek, from the ages of 1 to 10, is there a story which pops straight in your mind now, which made a real impact on your life?
From what I remember, there were a lot of travel we used to do. Both my parents used to love traveling, and they used to take me and my sister
Yes.
to all the places they used to go at the same time. The movies or getting to a park nearby, all those things. Um, but that's about my parents. But personally, for me, from age 1 to 10, from what I remember, is that. You see, I was a very healthy kid, right? I used to look healthier, much
Yes.
healthier than what I look now. So, and yes, I do remember quite well that I was the object of ridicule,
Right.
and all this. Also, it's more of people used to come and just pull my cheeks, like, "Hey, you're such a cute kid," So because this used to get a lot of cheek to hold and pull it
Uh-huh.
out. So those are the things
Yeah.
which I remember.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yes, yes.
I might ask Vivek, did that teach you a lesson?
Yes, it did. Because uh, the lesson that I learned out of that is that the food intake
Uh-huh.
that we give to our kids need not be out of pure love. It
No.
has to be practical, and it
Yes.
has to be given to how much ever they require. Right?
Yes.
It shouldn't be overfed.
Very, very good lesson for everyone,
Yeah.
Vivek. So,
Yes.
what were you like at your first school in those years?
My first school, you say, Ernie, sorry?
Yes. You went to school between the ages of what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
Yeah, yeah. I think I started. It was perhaps the kindergarten. The
Yeah.
nursery was maybe at around 2.5, 3, and then
Right.
I think yeah, 4, 5 is when I started the schooling, the lower kindergarten, and then all those things.
Yes.
And I remember my first school so well, so well.
Tell me.
It had a huge ground, and that was the first time ever I understood the concept of discipline, standing in a line, the prayers, right?
Yes.
And the smell of the first notebook,
Uh-huh.
and and we've been given to write and learning to write all those things for the first experience.
Yes.
And it was Saint Anne's Convent. And I also remember my uniform very well because I was so excited to wear something different, you
Uh-huh.
know, having a clean shoe, all those things. It was a
Yeah.
blue and white checkered shirt. Yeah, these are my experience of my first school.
Very happy then.
Yes.
How were you with the teachers? Did you enjoy being at school? The learning?
Um, Quite frankly speaking, I do not remember the my first school, the teachers, but I think I was in first standard
Yeah.
or second standard is where I got shifted to another school, and from then on, the experience was a little different, and I still remember all the teachers.
Right.
Oh, fantastic,
Yes.
fantastic
Yeah.
learnings from them.
Good, good.
Yeah, yeah.
And so from there, Vivek, from the ages of 11 to 20, if you have a story in the early years, 13, 14, 15, and then perhaps the later years. So when you first entered your teenage years.
It was, I guess I was at 13 age group,
Yes.
right? I think I must have been in perhaps fifth or sixth standard. Yes, fifth or sixth standard.
Yeah.
And there, yeah, people saying that, hey, you're a teenager. And I was wondering, what the hell is that? You know, and then they said no, it's because you've now from 12 you've come to 13, right? So
Yes.
from then until you're 18, 19, you're a teenager. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, good. And the experiences have been, it's a mixed experience really.
Right.
One, it's to do with the good factor of me getting my self-awareness of how I look, how I feel, right? And that's the the point where I'm like, you know what, I because I was a short kid. I was a little stout and
Right.
short, right? And for the longest of time, and it so happens coincidentally, I'm wearing red today, right? So people used to call me tomatoes and apple.
Yes.
I had the like really pink cheeks and all that when I
Yes.
was to be sweating and all that. So that's when I decided, you know what, I'm not going to let myself be short or whatever, right? And
No.
that's when, due to the push my dad gave, I started cycling a lot every day, getting to school and
Yes.
all this. That's how I started to, lean myself and
Right.
grow myself a little taller.
Great.
And the other story which I remember is that that's when the awareness of money and all that started for me.
Yes.
My parents, my dad used to earn good money. We were very comfortable. We had a
Yes.
really a wonderful childhood. Lot of birthday parties and lot of get-togethers,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of family get-togethers and too many festivals that we used to celebrate. So it's actually always been an inclusive growth. Lots of friends, family friends.
Yes.
So that's the story which I remember in that age group.
Wonderful, wonderful. And if it makes
Uh,
any difference, Vivek, I am only 5'4". So short is. I
that is okay.
am
I'm
only
I'm
5'4".
5'11" now. I'm 5'11".
Ah,
Um,
not good at all. You must have shot up.
yes, yes.
Great. And that awareness of money, Vivek, uh, we're talking now where you're 20, and often in this period, I do like to go back and ask about the education you received in your senior years. Did you go to university?
Oh yes,
Right.
I did. So as I mentioned, I'm from Bangalore. So
Yeah.
Bangalore University is where we all got certified. So did I. And the college I went through was a commerce, right? I'm a bachelor of commerce. I'm a chartered
Ah,
accountant by profession.
yeah.
So these are my education qualifications. But this age group of 20 plus has been a real roller coaster ride for me in my life.
Why is that?
um, Because I just turned 21,
Yeah.
and that's where I lost my dad in an
Ah,
accident.
okay.
So even I was in the car with him, nothing happened to me,
No,
and it actually left a lot of emotional impact on me for the longest
of
of time,
course. Of
because
course.
from there until 5 years back, I have suffered to the
Yes.
trauma.
Yes.
So because he passed away in my own arms, so that is
Yes.
something which I couldn't take it away. So,
Absolute. Absolute. No.
so
And thank you for sharing that. If if you want to pass by it, that's fine, Vivek. Or if you'd like to explore a little more on the effect that it had on you at the time, which you've told us, but also perhaps what you carry with you now.
yeah. So at the moment, for me, I have been able to process that emotion very well,
Yes.
thanks to my masters and thanks to the spirituality practices which I have gotten into. I
Yes.
practice something called Vipassana. It's a
I
2,500-year-old
I have
Buddha
heard of
technique.
Vipassana.
Vipassana, yeah.
Yeah.
That one, and few of the masters from whom I have got coached. Now I've undergone coaching.
Yes.
I've been able to process this very well, and at the moment, the only thing that I have is all the happy memories about my parents, and I just close my eyes, and if they're in my thought, for whatever reason, I just bless them. Look, wherever
Wonderful.
you are,
Yeah.
whatever you do, stay blessed,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
I believe thoughts have power, and
Of course.
it
Yeah.
could.
And so, if we could go back a little bit, then, do you have brothers, sisters with you?
I do. I have an elder sister.
Uh
Um,
huh.
she's
Was
just
she a
one
help?
year elder to me.
Was she a help?
All the time,
Yeah.
all the time, right from the time when I was a teen. I mean, she's more like a, how do I say? She's like my guiding angel.
Yes.
Um,
Wonderful.
so it's not just for that situation, this situation. It's like all the time she's been very helpful, guiding,
Yeah.
telling her whatever, right? And it's a two-way street for between me and her, right?
Of
She has
course.
something she discussed with me, we both help each other. That's how.
Great then. And your mother?
I lost her 5 years back
Uh huh.
to ill health.
Yes.
So otherwise, she was a homemaker.
Uh huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And when you remember back, who would you say was master of the house? Your father or your mother?
Um, it was my mom, very
Uh huh.
clearly,
Yeah.
very clearly. And yeah, so this is where my other area where I practice and which I coach people is on financial fitness.
Uh huh.
Because you see, my mom, she's a wonderful human being,
Yes.
beautiful heart, beautiful soul, pure soul. But she comes from a background where the education was limited,
Of course.
and the money management principles or the money management techniques is something which I think she didn't learn. You
I
know,
know.
um, and because of that, there has been a lot of losses in our family that happened,
Yes.
and again for the longest of time, I has to play a victim card, saying that what, because of my dad, because of my mom, they did this, because of this I lost the properties, and this is where I
Right.
am. I had to start my life with loans,
Yes.
borrowings and all that, right? So but then that's not the truth. I always had the power in me to do the right things, right? The
Absolute.
only thing is I didn't know what was the right thing, which
Right.
is something which I have learned, and which
Uh-huh.
is what I'm giving to people today. None of us have to
Wonderful.
go through any financial struggles.
No, no, no. And I guess the question now then, Vivek, and you've probably answered it, is with the COVID virus, has that had any effect on your business, good or bad?
It's truth be told, it's neutral. In fact, the impact has been positive for me.
Uh-huh.
Not COVID positive, but
No,
life
no.
positive. um, because you see, for me, it's like alignment with the universe is a truth.
Uh-huh.
and I have got my practices and my thoughts and my words and my actions aligned towards that.
Right.
No doubt, I'm not saying that I've perfected that. No, I'm
No.
on the journey,
Uh-huh.
and there has been a lot of areas of my actions which is really not in tandem with my goal. Those
Right.
are the things which I am aware of, which are the ones that I should not be doing. So
Yes.
basically, Ernie, people say, "Hey, you need to have a to-do list." But you know what I began to maintain is not to-do list,
Right.
right?
Yes.
And that is slowly helping me, get there. So COVID has been,
Yeah.
in a way, it has actually been a blessing in disguise for me, because it has actually given me an opportunity to reach out to many more people and
Uh-huh.
help them reduce the stress, anxiety levels that they go through.
Yes.
Bring them all together as a community and helping them with their meditations,
Yes.
and helping them, gain knowledge about finances, money management, getting them
Well,
financially fit. So that has been a wonderful opportunity for me.
absolutely needed. Yeah. And I take it, are you above 30, Vivek? Are you over
That's it.
30?
I am 40.
Right. So now we go, if there is a story between 30 and 40 that you could tell us.
Oh yeah, this is the most. I think it's a key age, um, bandwidth, or rather key age group in my
Yeah.
life, because this is where no doubt, late 20s is when I got married, but early 30s is where I had my both my daughters born,
Right.
right? And that's where I purchased my first property, and then
Uh-huh.
moved on to buying another property of mine, purchasing a big vehicle, right? Saving more money, earning more money, getting good career, right? At the same time, during the second half of 30s, where to a large extent it took a downward spiral.
Right.
I had the entrepreneurship bug. Co-founded a startup along with my cousin, and that didn't take off well. But there's a lot of experience I got,
Uh-huh.
and so that suddenly there was a break of me always having a steady source of inflow of cash into coming into an entrepreneurship where I need to think and figure out, hey, what do I do for my next month paycheck?
Yes.
You know, which was never not even a single instance in my life I had ever faced. So this
Right.
age group is what it has actually taught me that. So
Ah,
resilience is something which is a key learning for me in this age group.
absolutely. Absolutely. And so we've come to where you are now, Vivek. What do you think the next 5 years will bring?
Okay. Um, Day by day, moment by moment, I'm getting extremely clear on what I need to be doing and what my, first of all, life goal is. Aligning that life goal into, micro goals of what I need to be doing in the next 5 years,
Right.
10 years, or
Yeah.
8 years, and three
Yeah.
years, 2 years, 1 year, month wise, and all that.
Yes.
So next 5 years is like a very bright
Uh-huh.
vision that I have for myself and for my family, and when I say me and my family, I'm talking about all the known dear
Yes.
ones, right?
Yeah.
Um, uh, One is I would be actually in a position to be earning money, which I had always dreamt of, and that's going to become a reality for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a consistent earning. Second thing, and I'm going to be debt free very soon,
Uh-huh.
completely debt free, and I'll attain my financial freedom, as well as most important for me is how I'm actually coaching my daughters,
Right.
because I've been telling them about the way to shoot a video, perhaps, right?
Yes.
How to bring on a YouTube channel, how to
Yes.
do business online, how to earn money, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm looking at their ideas, and I'm looking at being part of their life, and
Of
helping
course.
them set all these things at a very early age for them. So
Yeah.
that excites me a lot.
Uh-huh.
Excites me a lot.
So can you tell me a little bit more about perhaps your wife and your daughters, the ages of your daughters and what they're doing now?
Sure. Nitila is my elder daughter, and she's 11. And Twisha, Twisha, it's like you wish for
Yes.
Twish. So Twisha is 8, and she's a naughty one, naughty brat in the family. And Meena, my wife, she's also a finance professional. She works for a corporate,
Yes.
and so it's us. It's just us in the family, the four of
Great.
us, and we do have a help.
Yes.
And so I really, I'm very grateful to my wife, because even though I've been undergoing the entrepreneurship
Yeah.
struggles and
Yes.
resistances and all that, my wife has always been a strong support in terms of having that steady source of income to take
Good.
care of all the the
Yes.
basic needs. So I really appreciate she being there. So
Wonderful.
it's a fantastic life,
Yes.
to be very honest.
And the are your girls at the same school as each other, or are they in different schools?
No, they're in the same school, both of
Okay,
them.
so there's no problem taking them both to school. Do you
Not at
drive?
all.
Do they walk or do you drive them?
Neither. We
Neither.
have a school bus that comes in,
Uh-huh.
picks them up.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
taken care of.
So they
But
do.
mhm.
Sorry, they do have a little bit of independence even now. They're going to school on their own.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
oh yes, yes, they
Good.
do.
Good. So I think as we come to the end of the story, Vivek, the one question that's I'm waiting to ask is, do you have ambitions to come to England or to travel?
Of course. I one of the I cannot show you my vision board. Okay,
No.
one of the thing of my vision board is traveling,
Yes.
and traveling for what, right? I'm looking at having the fintech, financial technology as a
Yes.
base for my offerings of the
Uh-huh.
financial fitness, and reach out to many more people throughout the world. And I have traveled to the United States, I've traveled to United Kingdom, the European countries, I've traveled to
Right.
Australia, and I simply love the people, I simply love the cultures, different
Yes.
cultures and all that. There's a lot of learning for me. I believe when I'm a teacher, I'm a better student.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, traveling the world and actually delivering speeches and being a keynote speaker and
Yes.
delivering what people want is one of my motto.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So with that, Vivek, how can people contact you?
How do people contact me, you say?
Yes.
Ernie? Okay.
Yes.
It's very simple. Though my website, the older one, is just taken down. We are building, coming up with a new website, but I am always available at askvivekg.com.
Okay.
Simple. I'll repeat that.
Yes.
Ask. You can ask me any question. So
Uh-huh.
ask. Who do you ask? You ask Vivek. But am I
Right.
just Vivek? No, I'm Vivek G. So ask vivekg.com.
So I'll say goodbye for now, Vivek. Don't rush off afterwards. Thank you very much for sitting with me, and
I appreciate your time, Ari.
we will talk in the future. Take care.